control power. We can't control the degree that the temperature drops.
Yeah.
We can control the equipment.
As a pool owner with a single speed and a variable speed, a major difference in the cost and the savings.
If you just take a moment to look at the calculations, you will quickly realize that within 12 to 18 months, if it's programmed properly, that pump will literally pay for itself.
Welcome to the latest edition of Say What? Yep, I'm your host, Laura Thornquist, and today I'm really honored to have Michael Miller with Miller Pools and also James Overton with Pentair. And today we are talking about all the pool issues that we had over that big freeze. You guys were I'm sure you were amazingly busy, right?
We are amazingly busy, and we'll continue to be that way for probably at least the next 4 to 5 weeks, just trying to get the pools up and running.
You know, I mean, it got cold. So, cold's cold, right? What happened? How were we not prepared for this?
I don't think anybody was prepared for the power to be off as long as it was. That right there was a major issue. Our systems are designed that it has a built-in freeze protection. So at 36 degrees outside, it cuts the pump on, and moving water doesn't freeze. So when the water stops, that's when we start having issues when the temperatures dip down as low as they were. Nobody in Texas is used to winterizing their systems.
And that's the key. If you're up north, you winterize, right? But down south,
correct.
We don't know what to do with that.
Exactly.
When you even told me you were getting phone calls at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
I mean, what were you telling them to do?
Pull the drain plugs out of the pumps, the filters, the heaters, and also to go in, pull them out the booster pump as well, and open up one of the check valves.
Okay. All right. It's pretty simple. Pretty simple.
It was, but if they've never done it, 3 o'clock in the morning in the dark.
That was me. Like literally, we didn't know. We wrapped a sleeping bag over the pool pump. Clearly, that didn't do the trick. Yeah. One of the panels of my pool, it actually broke, but everybody's so busy, and they don't even have the pool parts or the parts to replace it. So, I mean, are you running into that issues? What's the most prevalent problem?
Well, yes, getting parts.
Yeah.
So the things that froze, some of the things you wouldn't think would freeze, but then when you look back, you realize there was still water in them, like the control valves, the suction and return lines. But the main thing is that we're really focused on at this time is to make sure that the pools can circulate and go through the filter, and at least we can treat them chemically.
Are customers being patient with you, or are they getting frustrated?
For the most part, they're patient.
I mean, really, customers, are they really patient?
Some of them are, and some of them aren't. And I think one of the biggest things is the things that froze are not normal wear and tear items. They're not warranty items. So what caught Pentair off guard, and the warranty stations and the distributors, was we don't normally stock manifolds for heater. We don't normally stock a lot of volutes. We don't normally stock housings for boost right pumps. They don't go bad.
Yeah.
But they had water in them in 9 degrees, and they popped.
Creates a problem.
Yeah, it creates a huge problem. So then it was, okay, we need these parts. We need these parts. So we jumped in and we started producing as many parts as we could. But now the housing that we were going to use for a whole pump is being shipped here for a part, not a whole pump.
Oh.
I got
you. So now we can give you either or.
Right.
It's tough to navigate. Okay, we're just going to give you a little bit of both. So we got to split it 50-50.
Well, and I know a lot of people also expect that if I'm under warranty with a warranty part, then I should be able to take advantage of that warranty. But this was a weather event.
This was a weather event. Most of our 99.9% of all warranties that we do are manufacturer defects. So if the manufacturer had nothing or no control over it, it's kind of hard to be accountable for it.
It's doubtful that we're going to have another Winter Storm Uri anytime soon. Well, at least we hope so. But we don't know, right? So next time around, if there is a next time, what can we do preventative?
just winterize the system simply because we can't control
Yeah.
power. We can't control the degree that the temperature drops.
Yeah.
We can control the equipment. So let's just shut the equipment off. It's cold enough that we're not going to get algae, and we wait it out. And soon as everything is good, put the plugs back in, and let's rock.
Smart.
One of my friends who builds swimming pools, Brian Whitlock with Cypress Custom Pools, since this has all happened, then what he is doing now on his startup, when he turns a pool over to a customer, they are actually marking the plugs with like a pink fingernail polish,
Okay.
so that you'll see
know.
where they are.
Right.
They're going to train the homeowner on that, which you're going to probably see a lot more training, I would think, on YouTube, and I'm sure Pentair is going to be doing more of that. I want to get something on my website. I do a radio talk show, and we have a lot of
The
folks
voice
that
for radio right here. Who also looks
a
like
shameless
your brother.
plug, the Backyard Bay Radio Show on AM 700, Saturday mornings at 9 a.m., Sunday mornings at 8 a.m.
Nice
Tune
work.
in.
Well said. Where were we? Pink nail polish.
Yeah, so the pink fingernail polish will identify quickly where each plug is, so that the homeowner can go out there when it's still daylight and just shut it all off, and then open the plugs, and they have to open up that filter, top
Yep.
of that filter. There's
that filter and
there's
put
a
that
little
drain plug.
air
relief.
relief valve
Okay.
that drains all the water down. But if you don't follow the procedure, then you could still have damage.
Okay.
And that's what some people have found. They forgot to pull the plugs on the boost right
The
pumps,
boost right pumps, yes.
which are a little different.
Okay.
So I think that we are going to definitely have to focus more on our industry to training the homeowner, even though we all know that, yes, I'm listening to what you're telling me right now, but
Blah,
then,
blah, 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 blah,
you
blah,
know,
blah, blah.
I'm not going to remember, and I don't care, because I'm going to call you to come do it,
Yeah.
but we can't get to you because nobody can drive, so,
Right.
yeah. So training and doing it the proper way, I think, is going to be very critical in the future.
People need to mark this podcast, and when another February 14th comes, then they need to pull it up on the phone and say, this is what I need to do.
That's
what
right.
I need to do.
Right.
All right, let's switch gears a little bit, because in July of 2021, there is new legislation that's going to require pool owners moving forward to get a variable speed pump, okay, right? So, as opposed to the single speed.
And this is one time I can honestly say that the legislation is correct.
Well, tell us why. Tell us, what is the meaning behind this? Why are we doing this?
We're doing it to improve a homeowner's swimming pool experience
Okay.
and saving them money and making their pool much more efficient. I'm going to turn it over to James.
And a lot safer. That was the other thing.
Safer.
Make the pool safer. A pool is a luxury item. We don't have to have it.
Okay.
So we want it safe. We don't want your kids being hurt. We don't want them getting stuck on main drains. We don't want
Sure.
things like that happening. So by telling customers we need variable flow, variable speed pumps, it says let's slow the water down. And if we slow the water down, three things happen. One, we can filter better. Doesn't matter which media you use. Two, we save the homeowner money. And three, we have a better control over the water chemistry because we're steady moving water. It's not sitting stagnant. So you still have to put chlorine and treat the water like you're
Sure.
supposed to.
Sure.
But when a pool pump goes off, and as so often people have done, I'm only running 8 hours a day and I'm shutting the pool off. And the rest of the time it sits stagnant. That's when algae blooms and
That's when
grows and it becomes your worst nightmare.
Right.
So at that point, the money that you put in chemicals and the pool guy cleaning the pool, you could have saved all of that and ran your pool longer with a less energy rate and been a whole lot more efficient.
So it's safer and less expensive to run.
Exactly.
That's the key.
Yes, and we encourage homeowners to run it 24 hours a day, and they immediately just go, I can't afford that. Yeah,
You can.
You can, and you'll benefit from it. So there are certain water features and things that people like to hear from their pools. For example, if you have an elevated spa, then you have an overflow that flows into your pool.
Yep.
You have one?
I do.
Okay. So if you just see that overflow trickling over there, then you're going to immediately think something's wrong,
Yep.
because it's supposed to look this certain way. Well, what we can do now is that when you know that you're going to be out around your pool, like if you come home from work in the evening and you might sit out there for an hour or so, then we will program your pump to run at a higher speed so you can see everything that you want to see it doing. And then when you're not around, then we're going to slow it down.
Right.
And when we slow it down, the calculated savings, which, I'm really encouraged to see what Energy Ogre is doing on their website to show homeowners, because it can be a struggle sometimes on the sell, because they're a lot more expensive than the old single-phase pumps.
That's right.
But if you just take a moment to look at the calculations, you will quickly realize that within 12 to 18 months, if it's programmed properly, that pump will literally pay for itself and how much money you would save over that single-phase pump.
You raise a good point, because you're right. It is more expensive, and we're very excited to provide a tool that will show people exactly how much they're going to save in electricity savings to pay off the price of that pump as well. So in the long run, it may be where they can pay that off in even less than a year, like 6 months, with the electricity savings by using Energy Ogre. Right?
Exactly.
Yes, because
So it's a win-win situation.
It truly is, because what you folks are doing and have done for me now, and really have saved me. Thank you.
Our pleasure.
It's the technology that I didn't really understand,
Right.
and I don't think anyone really does unless they're you guys.
Right.
We
Right.
just don't. Nobody has the time to look for prices. I mean, that's not.
Who wants to do that anyway,
No,
right?
And you go on those websites, and it's just like.
Right.
It's,
I had met Mike England several months ago, and that was my first call. I had his cell phone, and bang, bang, I need your help.
Yep.
Because
Yep.
I was with one of those providers that are really taking advantage of people. And
Yeah. It's about data and technology. It really is. And we pull in everybody's data. And at some point, too, we will be able to help manage that. We're not there yet, but we have some very exciting things coming. So if somebody's pool pump breaks today, or, okay, let's move to July. If somebody's pool pump breaks in July, they have to replace it with a variable speed.
well, the whole thing in July is the manufacturer,
Okay?
Pentair, or anybody else that's manufacturing pool equipment, we can no longer manufacture any single-speed, single-phase
You can never
motors.
replace again with a single speed.
We have warranty items or things that were under warranty that were grandfathered in.
Yeah.
But the most you would get would be 2 years, if that. But if you went back with one of those pumps, the money that you're going to lose to the electrical company,
Right.
yeah,
you could have bought the pump then and been perfect and saved money. So that's the whole thing. Is
That's what people
saving
need to
money.
understand. Because a perfect example, at my old home up in Dallas, I had the single speed, and I'm like, just fix it, just replace the part, repair it. And I was losing money each and every time.
Every time.
I chose to repair that single speed as opposed to getting the variable. And it is a huge difference. I will tell you, as a pool owner with a single speed and a variable speed, a major difference in the cost and the savings, and just the way it runs. It's quieter.
A lot quieter.
It's so
Oh,
much
yeah.
quieter.
we put a variable speed pump, SVRS, on my pool years ago, but we didn't program it properly. And that's
point.
very, very critical. And I didn't see any savings, and then Sean came out, and he reprogrammed it for me. And within the first month, this is before Energy Ogre, this is back in
Sure.
07 or 08,
Yeah.
$100 less, because I was running a 2.5 full-rated horsepower motor 12 hours a day, and I started running, and I ran the other one 12 hours a day too, but I think they were running it at 3,450.
Yeah, and it's not programmed.
But once they programmed it,
Okay.
then I literally saw that on my bill, and I knew that it was
Saw the difference.
from that pump. And
So talk about the programming. How are you supposed to program that? And do we need to know? Why can't I talk right now? Blah, 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 blah. Do we need to know how to do that, or do we just depend on our pool person to handle that?
Typically, you depend on your pool person.
Okay.
yes,
The pool guys are pool professionals.
Yeah.
So we
Most.
go through.
most.
I agree with you on that one.
You want to be with an authorized Pentair dealer.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough.
Let me make that clear.
What Pentair does is we offer training classes. We will go out to the business. We will go out to job sites. We will make sure that they have every tool they need. They have the knowledge that they need to go in and properly program it. I'm one of the guys that goes out and I do the training with them as well. And we really push it and tell the pool guys, look, if there's something you don't understand, if you get stuck, pick up the phone, call me, text me, let me know what's going on, and I'll help you. Whether that's 7 o'clock in the morning on a Friday or 7:30 in the evening on a Friday, we still reach out.
Or 3 o'clock in the morning.
Or 3 o'clock in the morning. We still reach out and help those guys because I know
Very
they
nice.
want to get home to their families. So the sooner I can get them home to their family, the quicker I can be with mine.
Smart.
So, it works
So a
out.
red flag is if you have a variable speed pool pump and your bills seem kind of high, you may want to check, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, and also you can tell by looking at your pool.
Yeah.
And if your pool is really flowing and moving fast, then that pump's pumping it
problem.
really hard.
Yeah. It's working too hard. Doesn't need to work that hard.
I think that it's critical that the listeners, that people who have a swimming pool truly understand the value of the variable speed, variable flow pumps, the VSF. However, I do want to bring up, there is the first pump that they came out with, one of the first, or I'm not sure, that would be you. It's called a VS, variable speed, dash SVRS,
Right.
Safety Vacuum Release System,
Okay.
which was approved to meet the Virginia Graham-Baker Safety Act code for anti-entrapment. What that means is that for the older swimming pools out there that only have a single drain, and that's not VGB compliant anymore, then if you put the VS SVRS pump on your pool, now you have made that drain, as long as you change the cover, you have to change the cover out as well to meet the VGB code cover, and that pump gives you the safety of it will not, if it has any blockage whatsoever, it shuts the pump down. So a child could not get their body stuck on it,
I follow you now. Okay.
or hair if it's got stuck down there.
Yeah.
So what the drain cover does is it prevents hair, fingers, jewelry, things along those
Rings.
lines, rings, from getting
Yeah.
caught. And what the VSF pump does is it prevents the suction from keeping them down there.
Well, and I noticed you talk a lot about, because I keep on saying variable speed, but flow is just as important, VSF,
Yes.
right?
Flow is very important. It's just one of those things like the new technology
Okay.
that's there. If somebody calls in and says, hey, James, my flow or my speed on my pump is 1,800 RPMs. Am I running it long enough at 5 hours? I have no idea. I need to know gallons per minute. Your car runs in miles per hour. It also runs in speed RPMs as well. When you get clocked by an officer,
Yeah.
they clock you in miles per hour.
Yes, I know.
RPMs. So the same thing with the pool. I want to know what the miles per hour or the gallons per minute is, so I can calculate that and tell you exactly what you're doing. Because every pool is not plumbed the same. There's some plumbers that are better at it than others. And that's what makes the difference with the variable flow,
Yeah.
variable speed pump, is the plumbing. If you have 1.5 2 inch plumbing, and you try to program that pump to run 3450 RPMs, which is equal to a 3 horsepower pump, then you're not going to push that much water and you're going to waste electricity. So what this new law is saying is, hey, if you have 2 inch plumbing, then you shouldn't flow any faster than this set amount.
Gotcha.
So now that pump cannot push any more water than that. It can't be rated to push more water than that.
And that's
That makes
why
a big difference.
Sure.
that's why it's really critical that a pool professional who's an authorized Pentair dealer, I think those words
Yes.
really go a long way, because there's a lot of people out there that are in our industry that aren't trained,
Yeah.
that can clean a pool and get leaves out of it, but they're not trained to program your pumps and things along those lines. Larger companies like my company, Miller Pools, my partner, Tom Steinbacher with Texan Pools.
Okay.
We all have, I do over 700 pools a week. He does over 900, but we're authorized dealers,
Yes.
and we
Yeah.
train our people.
You spend time and money training your employees. and
Right.
You're a reputable
And-
company. Yep.
All that we're talking about right now, some of the listeners might be going, I can't do all that. You don't have
Don't
to.
need
Don't
to.
have to.
Let us do it for
Let
you.
us do it for you, and then you just can
said.
just reap the benefits if you go with Energy Ogre, of course.
Of course. Man, would you come work for us, please? You're hired.
All right.
Well, gentlemen, is there anything else that we've missed? I think we've covered quite a bit. And, of course, go to Michael Miller for questions with your pool, please. He's obviously quite the professional, and I appreciate your time, both of you, for
Yes.
sharing wonderful information. We love that we're partnering with you, where we're saving time, we're saving money, and we have a better quality pool.
Yes,
At the end of
and
the day, that's what we want.
so you can always reach me by going to millerpools.com,
Good.
and you can get an email directly through my website. You can also reach me on Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. on KSEV.
I'm
And,
tuning in.
All right.
I'm tuning in, and I'm going to call you at 3 a.m. next time I have a problem. How's
Not
that
a
sound?
problem.
All right, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
having us.
And as we love to say here, as always, be cool, stay kind, and do great things, because it's the Ogre way.